Now, like I say, Oprah did what Oprah does best. She turned it into basically about her being a bit of a victim and people picking on her, and this isn't what it seems. But on the face of it, Phil, I don't want to be unkind to Oprah, but I think if you're, one of the key faces of Weight Watchers, encouraging millions of American women that they should be losing weight in a certain way as dictated by Weight Watchers, and it turns out you've been secretly on Ozempic.
Piers Morgan's recent comments on Oprah Winfrey's weight loss journey and her use of weight loss medications have ignited significant debate. Oprah's decision to publicly discuss her use of drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy has drawn both praise and criticism, with Morgan being one of the most vocal detractors. He expressed concerns over the potential consequences of such endorsements from a figure as influential as Oprah, particularly highlighting the risk that her fans might flood the market with demand for these drugs, potentially making them inaccessible to diabetics who rely on them for their original intended purpose.
Which is a drug that makes you stop having pangs of hunger. That is a deceit on the American people, isn't it?
Well, I don't know what timeline you're looking at, but I can tell you this: when I pick up a news article or see something online that says so-and-so admits to using Ozempic or whatever, as you know, I spend a lot of my time in the litigation arena, and I associate the term admit with a confession of wrongdoing. And I see these different stars and they come out and say, this female movie star admits using Ozempic, or this male actor admits using this. What the hell business is it of anybody what somebody's doing in terms of their medical management? And what does it mean, admits using it? Is there some wrongdoing in somebody?
Well, I would counter
getting
that.
with their physician.
I would counter
doing
that.
Something with their physician.
I would say generally you're right, but on the Oprah case, and again, I've got enormous respect for Oprah. She's an absolutely brilliant businesswoman. She's a brilliant television person, etc., and has done me a few big favors over the years.
Oprah Winfrey's struggles with weight have been highly publicized since the early days of her career. In the 1980s, Oprah famously wheeled a wagon filled with 67 pounds of animal fat onto her talk show, symbolizing the weight she had lost on a liquid diet. This iconic moment, which became emblematic of her battles with weight, also marked the beginning of a long, highly publicized relationship between Oprah and her body image.
Thank you very much. You are, do people ever, especially now, you've lost a lot of weight, do people not believe you're you ever?
Well, a couple of times I've had situations where I was opening my school in South Africa, and I had brought 200 friends from the United States for that celebration. And my assistant forgot my passport. And I am stuck on the tarmac for 7.5 hours, literally waiting on somebody to come and release me. Now, they knew who I was because they were coming to take pictures with me. Well, I have had the experience of a lifetime because back in 2021, I had my knees done. Anybody here ever had their knees done? Woo! Let's testify. So for 4 years, I was in pain every time I walked down a hill, and I was getting those injections in the knees, the steroid injections. But as you know, if you continue to get them, it actually gets worse. You don't improve, you get worse. So I decided to have my knees done. And let me tell you, life changed.
Yeah, it worked.
Life changed after that.
For decades, Oprah has been open about her struggles with yo-yo dieting, often blaming herself for her inability to maintain a stable weight despite various diets and exercise regimes.
And when you first come home, I could not lift my leg off the bed. I couldn't move my foot. And I made a vow that if God, if you let me walk again, I promise I will get myself in shape. I promise I will use my body to the highest possible good for myself and my health. And that's how it all started. So I started like, not being able to, first of all, you start out with a walker. Which is very limiting.
While Oprah's openness about using weight loss medication has been seen as empowering by many, it has also sparked controversy. Piers Morgan, a British television presenter known for his outspoken views, has been one of the most vocal critics of Oprah's approach. Morgan's primary concern is the influence Oprah has over her millions of followers and the potential ripple effects of her public endorsement of these drugs. Do you think Oprah's influence on Ozempic's popularity could lead to unintended health risks for her followers?
But if you're representing Weight Watchers and that is not actually how you yourself are losing weight, and you get caught out having denied you're using one of these drugs, and then you have to admit it, you're kind of admitting not a crime, but you are admitting that you've been deceiving people, aren't you?
She didn't have to say anything at all. I think what Oprah did was discover that there was a really some breakthrough science that has identified that there are certain functions at a neurological level.
Oprah has been transparent about her use of these drugs, describing them as an essential part of her current weight management strategy. During a panel discussion in July 2023, Oprah revealed that she had finally accepted that weight issues are not purely a matter of willpower, but also involve biological factors that can make weight loss exceptionally difficult for certain individuals.
So I know we've been criticized, we've been scrutinized, we've been shamed, and we've been told that unless we meet a certain standard of size, that we didn't deserve to be accepted or even to be loved. And what I know for sure is that I am done with it. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I'm done with the shaming. I'm done with it. And the purpose of this conversation is to help you be done with it, to get over it for yourself and to stop doing it to other people. Stop judging others for the way they choose to live. Through my platforms, through the magazine, through the talk show for 25 years, through online, I've been a major contributor to it. I cannot tell you how many weight loss shows and makeovers I have done. And they have been a staple since I've been working in television. I've shared how that famous wagon of fat moment on the Oprah show is one of my biggest regrets. It sent a message that starving yourself with a liquid diet set a standard for people watching that I nor anybody else could uphold. And I've said this before, was set into motion after years and years of thinking that my struggle with my weight was my fault. And it has taken me even up until last week to process the shame that I felt privately as my very public yo-yo diet moment became a national joke. So many of you who followed me over the years may remember this. One of the moments that has stuck with me for over 30 years was when I was first invited to appear on The Tonight Show.
The debate over using weight loss medications like Ozempic and Wegovy is complex and multifaceted. On one hand, these drugs have been hailed as a breakthrough for individuals struggling with obesity, offering a medical solution to a problem that has long been treated as a failure of personal responsibility.
Hi there, I'm Kim. I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist and a certified diabetes care and education specialist. I'm busy, I'm gonna make this quick, but we're going to get into this article. If you haven't heard by now, Oprah stated that she is taking a weight loss medication. The name of the medication has not been released, but a lot of people are speculating. If you've been on my page for any length of time, you know exactly what medications I'm talking about. So I want to read for you something that Oprah said.
On the other hand, critics like Morgan raise valid concerns about the societal implications of using these drugs for cosmetic or non-medical reasons.
The fact that there's a medically approved prescription for managing weight and staying healthier in my lifetime feels like relief, like redemption, like a gift, and not something to hide behind and once again be ridiculed for. I'm absolutely done with shaming from other people and particularly myself. So even though I do believe that everyone has a right to be happy with their body,
what makes Oprah's case particularly notable is the scale of her influence. As one of the most recognizable and trusted figures in the world, Oprah's endorsement of a product or treatment can have a profound impact on public opinion and consumer behavior.
First of all, what is the difference you feel in how people treat you in a smaller body versus being in a bigger body?
I am treated like a completely different human being. Now that I'm in a smaller body, people are friendlier. And this is the part that I struggle with, is that I find that people are nicer to my children when I'm out with my children, right? I feel that it's just like in general, but it's better treatment for all of us.
Yeah.
In recent years, Oprah's approach to weight loss shifted with the advent of new pharmaceutical aids. Medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro, originally designed to treat type 2 diabetes, have been repurposed as effective tools for weight loss due to their ability to regulate insulin and suppress appetite. Although these medications were not initially intended for weight loss, clinical trials and real-world use have demonstrated their effectiveness in treating obesity, prompting their prescription for weight management.
Ozempic, well, let's stay on that,
Yeah.
to lose
Yeah.
5 pounds. How do you feel about that?
It's not what its intended use is. Why that's dangerous is because when a medicine is studied by this evil pharma that we're talking about, it's studied in a certain population, people who have type 2 diabetes, who are overweight or have high blood pressure. So when you're taking it as someone who doesn't have any of these diagnoses and you take it, how do I know that the risks you're facing are going to be what the ones that we found in the research when we didn't test it on people like you? It's the same reason why we suck at treating women's heart disease, because we never did research on women's heart disease. So when a female patient comes in and says, oh, I have a little acid reflux, maybe a little arm pain, we discount it and they're having a heart attack because our initial research was not done on women, it was done on men who said, I have an elephant sitting on my chest, this is how I describe it. And that's how our common knowledge is of heart disease, and therefore we miss all these heart attacks in women.
People argued that Oprah is misleading the public by pretending her weight loss is primarily due to diet and exercise, when in reality, pharmaceuticals play a significant role. This critique adds to the ongoing debate about transparency in celebrity health endorsements, particularly when those endorsements may affect millions of fans looking for similar.
Is taking Ozempic to lose weight the easy way out? Oprah thinks so. I'm not sure I really care if it's an easy way out or not. I don't think that that's the debate to be had. I more worry about physical side effects of taking this medication long term. If someone were to stay on this drug for the rest of their life to keep weight off, how would it affect fertility or other aspects of health?
Congratulations, Reg. It's a squid.
I'm not sure we really know the answer to that. So this whole argument about is it an easy way out, I don't really think that should be the concern here.
Ozempic, originally developed for treating type 2 diabetes, is increasingly used for weight loss, but it's not without risks. Common side effects include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and abdominal pain.
So everybody is talking about Oprah's weight loss revelation that she's been using some kind of medication to lose weight. Just gonna drop my 2 cents in here. Number one, I don't really care, but number two, what did you expect? What did you expect from the woman who has for years and years and years talked about yo-yo dieting and cleanses and cabbage diets and this pill and that pill and weight loss surgery? What did you expect? We've heard Adele and Monique talk about the truth, which is that they had a lot of trauma that they had to resolve before they began their natural weight loss journeys, right? I made a video about a year ago talking about how obesity is a trauma response. Now, some people don't believe that, but we psychologists know this. There's studies on this. Obesity is not just a disease. Obesity is a disease in the same way addiction is a disease, meaning it is both environmental and it can be genetic.
Megyn Kelly, another prominent media figure, has also criticized Oprah, accusing her of being disingenuous about her weight loss journey.
Oprah didn't help by sort of saying it's cheating. What do you mean it's cheating? It's a drug that helps people control their appetite. How is that cheating? So she was probably on the wrong side of things when she was saying that. And now I think she was sort of forced to admit, because as you say, it's obvious. Somebody like Oprah who's constantly up and down with the weight and hasn't been on the skinnier side for a long time. And then suddenly, after this miracle drug comes out, like, we know. But she's still a spokesperson for Weight Watchers. And I guess she's going to still tell us that the point system is really what's behind the weight loss.
Good for Oprah. I've talked about it on my podcast with TriniTEA. I talk about it to anyone who will listen. I used Ozempic. I lost 15 pounds on it. I was on the lowest dose, and it was incredibly effective. And, you know, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. No one should follow my medical advice. But there are horribly, horribly deleterious effects from being massively overweight. And now the fact that people who have struggled for an extremely long time, as Oprah's talked about struggling, I mean, that's been a huge part of her public persona, can take a drug that is so unbelievably effective. Good for her. And I don't know if you agree or not, but I think that it's a good thing to take the stigma away from this.
We know. But she's still a spokesperson for Weight Watchers. And I guess she's going to still tell us that the point system is really what's behind the weight loss.
Well, first of all, as a person who has done Weight Watchers many times before, the point system does work. It's just Ozempic is way easier. The other thing is that Weight Watchers now, I think, I don't want to be misspeaking, but I'm pretty sure that they have some kind of partnership with some of these because they're so unbelievably effective.
Yes.
Now, you know, are we all going to wake up a little while from now and have grown like some strange additional appendage because of the semaglutides? I don't know, but I fit back into my skinny pants, so I'm happy, and I'm guessing Oprah is too.
Oprah has publicly defended her use of Ozempic, stating that she is done with feeling ashamed of seeking medical assistance for her weight. She has argued that obesity is a medical condition, not a personal failure, and that drugs like Ozempic provide an important tool for managing it.
Well, then Oprah puts in her 2 cents, and
I like almost lost my mind at this point.
Tell them what she said.
She compares alcoholism to obesity. Alcoholism is a very serious mental disorder. Listen to our obesity episode. You can't be addicted to something you need to survive. You don't need alcohol to survive. You need food. You will die if you don't eat. To compare, that's crazy. And then she says later, like, it's wrong to shame people with obesity. But compares them to being alcohol. Like, you're just as bad as an alcoholic.
Oprah's stance is that weight loss should be treated as a health issue, and she has expressed relief that medications exist to help manage conditions that were once addressed primarily through willpower and dieting.
I think Oprah has some sort of obligation to tell the truth.
Let's talk about Oprah, because she has admitted to taking weight loss drugs. Oprah sparked speculation that she had taken a drug like Ozempic when she appeared at the Color Purple premiere, looking slim. Now, back in September, and here's where all the controversy comes in, Oprah said she wrestled with the idea of using a drug, but refused calling it the easy way out.
I think Oprah has some sort of obligation to tell the truth because people have been following her weight loss journey for so long, and she's been helping so many women. I don't know if there's shame behind this about using the drug or wanting to do it on your own. I don't think there's any shame to getting a kickstart into weight loss or wanting to, you know, counteract that yo-yo effect. I really think what Tori brought up is the reason why she wasn't transparent. If she has her hands in Weight Watchers and she's saying that's how I lost that, she can't say it was from Weight Watchers when really it was Ozempic or another drug that she used. So I think her hands were tied at the moment, and now she's coming forward and saying, hey, this is really how I lost it.
People argue that her ongoing association with Weight Watchers is misleading if she's also relying on pharmaceutical interventions to achieve her goals. Should celebrities like Oprah be more transparent about using medications for weight loss while promoting diet programs like Weight Watchers?
This whole time, I seriously thought that she was only using Weight Watchers. I really did. Like, I believed her because of who she was. Like, the credibility behind her was like so strong that like I had questioned doing the program myself back like maybe 5 years ago. I was like, oh, I could do that. You know, she always gets on there. She's like, I lost weight and I could eat what I wanted. And I still could eat pizza and I still could eat cake.
Now you realize it's a lie, man.
Man, it's so it's disappointing and disheartening for me because there are a lot of people out here trying to do it the right way, me included. And
It's
like
hard.
there's so many easy outs, like medicine and shots and surgeries and stuff like that.
Many believe Oprah's influence may lead more people to use Ozempic without fully understanding its risks, especially when the drug's original purpose was for diabetes management, not weight loss.
And speaking from experience, you've been on these medications yourself, is that correct?
Correct.
Right. And so you can actually speak from experience and be able to help anyone that has the questions or maybe the anxiety wrapped around this. Because what I have seen, like right now, I mean, the biggest celebrity out there is Oprah Winfrey. She's all over it. She's talking all about it. And you guys have seen her. She looks amazing, right? I mean, how old is she? How old is Oprah Winfrey?
I don't know. She's got to be in
70?
Is she 70s?
Oh, come on. She has to be.
She has to be, right?
I mean, she has to be. And she looks incredible. It's like life begins at 70 with weight lossness. But she's been around the block with her own weight loss yo-yo.
Oh, yeah. It's struggling.
For 40 years. Struggling, yes. I remember her when she took out the 30 pounds of fat or 50 pounds of fat on the little wagon. I was a kid and I'm like, wow.
This is what concerns Morgan and others who fear that her promotion of weight loss medications could lead to a surge in demand that outstrips supply, leaving those who need the drugs for medical reasons without access.
But Oprah says that she was initially reluctant to jump on board the weight loss drug bandwagon because she felt she had to prove she had the willpower to lose weight on her own. She does tell people that she changed her tune after having an aha moment while hosting a new show called The State of Weight, which is, doesn't have to live into this if she doesn't want to, but she's choosing to. So Oprah said, I realized I'd been blaming myself all these years for being overweight, and I have a predisposition that no amount of willpower is going to control. Obesity is a disease. It's not about willpower, it's about the brain.
Issues of access, affordability, and long-term health impacts must be addressed to ensure that these medications are used responsibly and ethically.
He sees it on TV as someone taking Ozempic and he talks shit about it. And he says, they're taking the shortcut, and we get into it about it. Because I get a little defensive. I don't think it's a shortcut. I think they're utilizing modern science. And hey, a cool medicine came out.
People who are abusing it, like celebrities who just want to lose an extra 10 pounds.
So you're only talking. So why are you're lying? Because you talked shit about Oprah. She's not abusing it for 10 pounds. She has had an obesity issue her entire life.
Did you not say it would have helped our mothers? Our mothers were huge beasts. It would have saved it. It would have saved my mother. She probably would have lived longer. That's
exactly.
different.
But why did you say Oprah was taking a shortcut and you talked shit to the TV? Yeah, you did.
She looks thin to me already. She didn't look that big.
Because she took Ozempic.
Oh, I didn't know. I've seen her in her other years. She didn't look that big to me. She's lost a lot of weight before the past.
The broader question remains whether celebrities should bear more responsibility when promoting health interventions, especially when millions of followers might mimic their actions without fully understanding the risks involved.
Now, back in October, Oprah did this panel discussing Weight Watchers. They had the Weight Watchers CEO on the panel, a bunch of other health experts, and she was talking about the weight loss journey that she has been on since she had double knee surgery. And she said that taking those drugs would, quote, be the easy way out. Here's a headline about that. Oprah calls Ozempic the easy way out after showing off 40-pound weight loss. Quote, even when I first started hearing about the weight loss drugs at the same time I was going through knee surgery, and I felt, quote, I've got to do this on my own. Because if I take the drug, that's the easy way out. Now, I personally do not care how you choose to lose weight or what you do with your personal health choices, but this did not shock me or bother me at all, because again, she is a major stakeholder and a major ambassador for Weight Watchers, which again is all about willpower and slowly shedding off the pounds and all the calorie counting and all of that. So obviously she wouldn't be in favor of something that essentially cuts some corners and makes Weight Watchers less relevant. But a lot of people were very upset about that.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.